Hi, I'm Rafaela Bayas. I'm a senior studying economics and public policy, and I participated on the REDI program on the first cohort when I was a sophomore, working for Asana Partners in Charlotte. I continued my real estate career this past summer, working for Greystar virtually from their Charleston office. And today I'm going to show you a little bit more terms for your interviews in the REDI program. So here's a small real estate crash course. First, the basics. Real estate is very market-driven like most other businesses. A good real estate opportunity is one where the demographics of the area, the location, and the competition all align with your interests and will give you the most amount of profit. For example, in retail, if you're looking to open a new Starbucks, you would look at how much money the people around the area make. So that's your demographics, because you want to know if they will be able to pay for Starbucks coffee every morning. Then you want to see whether there are other coffee shops nearby. So that's your competition. And finally, you would look at how accessible the place is for people to come. That's your location. And you would want to see all these different things in order to assess whether or not putting your Starbucks in that location is good or not. Now some terminology. The net operating income is the revenue which is the total amount of money a property generates in a year, which is earned by the rents, minus the operating expenses, which is all the money you spend to run the property. Things like utilities, property management, and other things that you might be spending money. And then your revenue is the rents. Then your market value is the amount of money that you would get if you put your property for sale now. This is usually calculated depending on how desirable the area where your property is located and also about how much similar properties have been sold for in the area in recent times. Now the capitalization rate, or cap rate. In its simplest form, a cap rate is only the net operating income divided by the current market value. A low cap rate means that the property is generating lower income than what the price of it is. A high cap rate means the property's market value is much lower than the NOI. The importance is that you would rather buy an asset at a high cap. So if you have a high cap, you would buy your asset. But if you have a low cap, you would rather sell your asset. The logic behind this is that you would always want to sell something when your market value is much higher than what you're earning, but buy it because your market value is what you're going to pay for that asset is much lower than what it's generating. So you have the potential to make its market value increase over time. Some basic performance metrics. First, the internal rate of return. This is just a percentage that tells investors the average annual return they have realized in the property over the time they have held the asset. It's basically the average of the interest you earn every year of you holding the property. This is a great way to estimate the profitability of the asset, as it assesses the returns from your investment from start to finish. Many companies use an IRR approach, meaning their investment decisions are based on the minimum IRR that they want to achieve. Then you have your equity multiple. On basic terms, this is by how much the money you initially put has grown by the time that you dispose of the asset. For example, if your initial equity that you put is $10,000, and by the end of the holding period you gain $20,000, then your equity multiple would end up being 2x, meaning that it's duplicated over time. So, how do you decide where to invest? You run an underwriting model. This is an assumption-based model in which your goal is to find out the profitability of an investment and whether or not it makes sense to put money on it. The assumptions are things like what the expected rent is going to be and how much it will increase per year, how much taxes are you going to pay, how much vacancy are you going to get in the holding years, how much you will spend in maintaining your property, etc. These are all found through market research. As this is an overtime estimate of how much money you will generate, it is the best way to assess whether an investment will be good or not. As you can see with the assumptions, you reach your target IRR and equity multiple. I hope you found this tutorial useful and good luck on your interviews.